Hi, this is Samuel Kim. Today we invited the CEO of Hamilton, Vivian Schoffer. It's been 2 years since we did last interview.
Yeah, so it's a pleasure to be back in Korea with you. A big, high motivated gentleman about the Hamilton brand. So it's always very good to come to meet you and to exchange about the value and the emotion of the brand. But most of anything, it's very interesting to be back and very important for me to be back here in Korea, as a Korean market is a very, very important market for Hamilton, and it's always pushing the boundaries as well for the product development in order that it talks to the people here in Korea.
Mm-hmm. For those 2 years, what have happened to Hamilton so far?
But the world has changed in 2 years.
Yeah, right.
The world has changed in 2 years. Mm-hmm. The world is always changing. The world is challenging. But I think that the capacities of Hamilton, the mindset of Hamilton is always the world is offering opportunities for the brand. So if I just think back a little bit the last couple of years, we've launched new families. I think we didn't have the Jazzmaster Performer. We didn't have the Khaki Field Expedition families. We had a big movie with Indiana Jones. We had a partnership with Chinese movies as well with Wandering Earth. Now we have been pretty active. We had Oppenheimer as well, featuring vintage watches. It has been a very, very interesting last couple of years and outperforming. And we launched as well, and I'm sure we will talk about, but we launched as well a new Khaki Field Quartz collection for specific reason that we can discuss if you are interested.
First thing, I have received lots of questions from my viewers. Many enthusiasts watched the film Oppenheimer and they saw beautiful Hamilton vintage watches which they cannot buy. So are you working on something related to Oppenheimer?
We knew it from the beginning. We knew it when Christopher Nolan and his team asked us about this product that we might face troubles with the end consumer or challenged by the end consumer. By the way, do you know how we finished to have these watches?
No.
So Mr. Nolan contacted Hamilton and said, okay, I am working on a movie and I need watches from the 30s. But I don't want a watch that has been produced in 2000 but is looking like a watch in the 30s. I need watches that were already existing 80, 90 years ago. And he asked us if we still had some of these very old pieces. So we pulled the drawer of the museum, if we can see it, and we sent them a picture. And they say, yeah, that's really cool. Yeah, can we have this one? And then we lend them the watches, our own watches, historical pieces for shooting the movies. And then they dig into the brand and they also look at other watches that they wanted to have but that we didn't have. So we contacted our collectors we purchased watches, old pieces from our collectors in order to lend them to the crew team, to the movie team. But to answer your question, I would love to be able to do again these pieces. The issue we have nowadays is that the movement have been taking a little bit more space than in the past. You have a longer power resistance, you have different materials, so it's taking more space. So we are unable today in our price point. Of course, everything can be done, but Hamilton has a specific price point, and we believe in our price point. It doesn't make sense to launch such a piece at 10,000 Swiss francs or 10,000 US dollar. It's not Hamilton spirit. So, but yes, we are working on it, and I hope that in 2 years, when I come back, we can say, oh, you made the watch of Oppenheimer. I hope. I cross my finger.
But you don't have specific plans or
We are working on it. But it can take, whenever you have to work on a movement, it can take years and years and years. But so yes, it is an objective.
So it's more like I'm not sharing with you yet.
Okay. I'm not sharing with you because I have nothing to share.
You're not allowed to do that.
And if I say yes, we can, and then we cannot, then I just create frustration to everyone, and I'm not here to create frustration.
Then I want to talk about several key pieces this year, like the Burton that's trending, the new game watch.
How long do you have for this discussion? Because I could speak for hours about this watch.
As long as you want.
Okay, so Hamilton is known as being the watchmaker or filmmaker. We have been in more than 500 movies. We talked about it 2 years ago, and we continue. It's something that is part of the DNA of the brand. And a few years ago, in 2017, 2018, we were looking at the gaming industry, and we realized that the gaming is also creating emotion, telling stories, futuristic, creating own environment. And we say, okay, we have to try to also also start working with the gaming studios. The first project was Far Cry 6 that we launched in 2021, but at the same time we contacted different studios, and we contacted Mr. Kojima, who is from Kojima Studio, because to be honest, Mr. Kojima is the Christopher Nolan of the gaming, or he is the Stanley Kubrick of the gaming. He's someone who totally revolutionized the way of gaming with the launch of Metal Gear Solid. So we contacted him and we said, hey, we are Hamilton, we would like to do something with you. And he was very, very enthusiastic, because his game is taking real actors. So he's using the face, or recreating American actors or actors to integrate them in the game. So he's very into movie, and one of his favorite filmmaker is Stanley Kubrick. And you know that we did in 1968, Stanley Kubrick asked us to make a special watch.
That's the first one.
2001, A Space Odyssey. That was the first prop watch that we created. So he said, yes, I want to do something with Hamilton. And then he said, okay, let's just do the 2001 A Space Odyssey. And we said, but we will not do something that we did many, many years ago. And then we started to discuss. But that was in 2020. It took us 4 years, more than 60 designs to come out with this piece. So this piece is something that is really merging the emotion of gaming, of Death Stranding, and of Hamilton. So it's really black, it has to be light, it has to be futuristic, and that's why we came out with this, I would say that the Bulletin of 2100 or 2150, I mean, that's really something futuristic with 7 sapphire crystal. A lot of work has been done for the ergonomy to be able to wear it.
So it's designed by the creator himself.
It's a never-ending story, a never-ending discussion between creative teams. I mean, you know, the first design, and we can share with you the first design that you will be able to show to your audience. The first one, if I remember correctly, it was so the shape was square, and you had the dial. It has to be black, and it was written automatic with an LED with light. So we started to say, okay, guys, if it has to be an automatic watch and we have to put a battery, then I'm not sure that the ergonomy of the product will be very good. And then they came up with another design that I really remember, and I'm pretty sure we can provide you with this design. They had 4 pusher, and we asked them, we say, yeah, but why do you have pusher? What is the function? And they say, there is no function. Yeah, but as a watchmaker, we cannot put a pusher if there is no function. At the end, we arrive with such a product, and that's the beauty of this project. It starts, you know, when at Hamilton, when we have the product department, the designer, they start to work on a product, they start with the limitation. They start by the size of the movement, and then how can I build something around? These people, they are not watchmakers. They have no limitation. They have no constraints. So they start full creativity, and then our job is to try to make it
make balance between
make the balance between, and to please them, and to make it happen. And at the end of the day, the end consumer can also wear it.
But it's still approved by the creator himself.
Oh yeah. No, he loves him. I had the chance to meet him. When was it? It was end of last year in Tokyo, to present him the first prototype that we had, and I could see in his eyes, you know, the light with the satisfaction to see something that is.
So what did he say?
He said, "Wow, it's even better than the one of 2001: A Space Odyssey." And I think it's also important for them. I didn't talk about it, but with him. But they are game creator, so they create something virtual that is not real, that you cannot feel, that you cannot touch. And then I think that for him, having in hands something that he designed, on which the whole team worked for years, was something pretty special. And we are looking forward to launch it pretty soon. So it will be launched on June 26th, the same day at the launch of the game.
I'm preparing a review for this watch, so so I'm looking forward to it.
You have seen the trailer of Death Stranding. So if you see the trailer, you see the watch, which is on the wrist of an Italian actor, and then you understand as well why you have this type of finishing on the movement holder, because it's very dark, a lot of tar, a lot of things going on the creative side of the game, and that's why we came out with this different texture on the dial. But I'm sure the expert you are talking about watches, you will find all these little details.
For those who do not download this game. It's basically like delivery man with that story.
I am not a gamer, so I can definitely not help you on this field. I can talk about watches, I can talk about the emotion behind, but I cannot talk about the game.
I try to study the narrative, and as far as I know, that's the most complicated game story I have ever experienced. So it's hard to understand.
Okay, we are in May. I still have 1 month to understand it until before the launch in order to have all the story behind talking about the game.
Yeah, by then I will become an expert.
Okay, me too. So we bet.
And then we have khaki-filled quartz. Many people are excited about it.
Yeah,
so
it's working really well in Korea. In 2023, with the evolution of the world, the price went up. Especially the Swiss francs is getting too strong. And we produce in Switzerland. The cost of such a product is in Swiss francs, and whenever it is, then we define a price for the end consumer that is in Swiss francs. And then you have the other currency that are moving around. And unfortunately, when the world is shaking a little bit, I think a lot of people are putting money into the Swiss francs, and they make the Swiss francs very strong. And then all the prices are getting high. And personally, at Hamilton, we don't like it, because I think that we are doing so much effort to try to put on the market product at an affordable price that create emotion, that we say, okay, we need to do something. We realize that there is the opportunity for Hamilton to express the spirit of the brand as well in a quartz product. And for us, it was obvious to choose the khaki field, and we inspired us when we did the design about the watches that we were producing in the past for the general service for the UK government. So that was the inspiration, and it happened in 2023, and we were able to put the product on the market in August, September last year.
I have received lots of questions regarding the design of the quartz.
Yes.
Some people are really appreciating they modernized the design of GS watch. I like that. But others were expecting something more faithful to the original. So when you make this kind of historically inspired watches, why do you always change the hands or size or something like that?
We change it because we are not very keen of being nostalgic. I think what happened. And I think it's good to get inspiration, but we have to think to the future. We have to be modern. Just reproducing something that was done 50 years ago and to be as it was 15 years ago, we don't think that this is today. We have other opportunities. And yes, people complain, or people have different vision or understanding of the brand, but we listen to our customer, as we did with the Murph. When we put a date, they don't want a date. When we do a 40, they want a 38. If we do a 38, they want a 42.
Yeah, that's true.
That's the life. That's our life today. And people were making the comment that we should have kept the GS on the dial.
Or broad arrow or something like that.
But the broad arrow is protected. So the broad arrow is the property of the UK. So you cannot use it without the approval. So we don't have the approval. We had the approval in the past, but we don't have the approval. So that's something that we will not put because we are not allowed. The GS, we are not providing for the general service watches, but that's why we put the old khaki writing. But also, I can tell you, to be sure or not, should we put this old khaki logo or not? Because now we have something more modern. But we still decided to put it to give still this vintage look on the product. So, but we are all these questions that we read on the social media or the customers. most of them we have them in our heads before, because we went through all this process before putting a product on the market.
Do you have a special message for those who expect faithful recreation of GS watch or other British military watches, something like that?
We have nothing in the pipeline, to be fully transparent. We have nothing in the pipeline. We are also trying to create something new, not always to. The past is an inspiration. We were talking about Oppenheimer. If I have to choose, if I could do today a watch from that was in the Oppenheimer movie or another watch linked with the khaki, I would go for a watch from the movie. But we also have to create the story of tomorrow. I also want that people in 2050, the CEO of 2050 of Hamilton, look back and say, wow, guys, look what Hamilton did in 2025, and with one of the first game, it will stay forever. We had Far Cry 6, and now forever we did a brand new product for a game in 2025.
Another question is about the bracelet of the Quartz model. It's different from the one from mechanical or automatic.
Yes.
And every time I try Hamilton bracelet, there is something distinctive about it. Is there any kind of philosophy or reasoning behind the design of bracelet?
No, I think then you should ask once. You should have a discussion with our head of product. I think that our head of product is very creative. He has a very clear idea what he wants to do, and I agree with you. At the beginning, when you take the khaki field quartz, like, is it titanium? I mean, you have this finishing, but the fact that it's brushed, it gives us something very special to the product. And I think that's what we try at Hamilton, especially with straps, with leather, with NATO. We are a little bit different than any other brand. A lot of brands are mainly selling on a metal bracelet. For Hamilton, on a worldwide basis, it's only 30% of our business is on metal bracelet. So I think that whenever you look at the type of leather we are using that is matching with the color of the dial, we really consider that the bracelet and the strap heavily contribute to the quality and the finishing and the image and character of the watch.
I think South Korean watch fans are big bracelet fans, and sometimes they ask Hamilton should make some kind of micro adjustment system without tool or that kind of thing. Is it coming or?
It's not coming. I know that's why we have normally at the end, I mean, we have some adjust, we have two position, but not on all of the product. But that's something that I take with me back in Switzerland, maybe to please our Korean customers, because we listen to our customers. And it's true, it's true. You are really more bracelet than other market. It's also a question of cost. Everything that you try to add, people are making comments. One, why on a khaki field mechanical you don't have a screw down crown? Why you don't have the anti-reflective coating? All these questions we are asking ourselves, always trying to improve the quality of the product and the finishing of the product.
Today I'm trying to represent South Korean fans.
But that's good. You are the spokesperson of our customer too. So we listen to you.
Many enthusiasts have some kind of mixed feeling about 100-meter water resistant with non-screw down crown, and they are not sure about whether or not it is safe to dive into water with non-screw down crown watch. And what's your take on this topic?
I think that it's a good question. I mean, you can have a watch without a screw down crown that is 100 meters. So it's not because it's a screw down crown that more water resistant. It helps. I mean, for 300, then definitely it can make the difference. But you should always be careful with your watches. You know, the pressure when you make the water resistance test, it's with the pressure that is progressively coming to the watch. Whenever you put your watch, when you watch your hand, I mean, you can have a lot of pressure in a very little fragment of second, and that could be like being very, very deep. With watches, I mean, we have at least 50 meters of water resistance here. I think it's safe for most of the case for using, taking your shower, on the daily use of a watch.
Some of my viewers are swimming with their khaki fields and they're doing just fine.
They're okay.
So
they're okay. They're okay.
They are okay for
and
swimming.
That's a field watch. That's a field watch. And 50 is more than enough for every. You know, nowadays there is this big GADA watch, go anywhere, do anything watch, and I think that the khaki field is the good example of a watch that is resistant. You have a sapphire crystal. You can really do almost whatever you want with it, and I think it proved over the last decades that it's a pretty resilient watch.
Now I feel good about my khaki field mechanical. And then I think new Aventurine dial of the Jazzmaster Open Heart, it completes the design of this watch.
So it's not real Aventurine, it's look-alike Aventurine, so it's not the Aventurine stone that we took to put on the dial. I think it looks good because it gives a very sophisticated and classy look of the Open Heart. So
I think Hamilton is too transparent. Very few brands are actually utilizing real Aventurine, and most of brands are using Aventurine light dial, but they don't.
It's not real Aventurine. And that's what we communicate as well. And I think we have to be transparent with our customers. If this is really real Aventurine, then the price will be higher.
And it's fragile. at the same time.
And it's fragile. So I think we have to be transparent. I think we have to be true. We have to be authentic. It looks like Aventurine. I think it's a product that is working pretty well here in Korea, in Japan as well. I mean, mainly in Asia. It's something that is really well appreciated. There is two sizes, 36 and 42. It's not my favorite watch, personally.
Why?
I am more into the khaki.
Whose idea was this? Let's put Aventurine-like dial to the Jazzmaster.
That's a good question. I mean, I was not prepared to this question, but definitely, I mean, I think that it's one of our colleagues, because that's as well quite funny, because we are mainly men watches, so you can always challenge me as well. I'm sure your customer is going to ask why we don't have more lady product, but we have a head of product and the two product managers are ladies. So that's the thing, and I think that's one of them who is handling the Jazzmaster collection that came out with the idea to try with Aventurine. But we work at Hamilton, we have so many projects, and then we choose the best one. It's not that we think, okay, we're gonna do Aventurine, we do the Aventurine, we are happy, we put it on sale. I mean, there is 5-6 different colors, we try things, and then we choose the one that fit the best with the brand and what we want to express.
But that's not your favorite. That's too bad.
No, it's not too bad. We have watch for every single taste. We have 6 collection.
Yeah, father doesn't love every child.
No, the father should love every child. But I can tell you as well, I mean, your customer are not the one who really like Ventura. I mean, Korea is the market where the percentage of Ventura is the lowest in the world. If I go in Mexico, 30% of the business is done with Ventura, and in Korea not. So that's why you cannot please everyone, you cannot be loved by everyone. And if I had to choose, if I have the opportunity to choose a Hamilton, it's not my first choice.
You have done lots of collaborations with other entities.
Some, not too much.
Not
we
too
have,
much.
have a lot of requests, but we choose only few of them.
Then the first one I want to talk about is the engineered garment.
Engineering garment.
It blew social media and
It's
community.
crazy. It was crazy. It was very, very surprising. The project started. It started in 2021, and we launched it in 2024. So these collabs always takes time, and we wanted to do a collaboration with someone who would bring something, another point of view, push a little bit. I would Hamilton on the border. The results is maybe not what we were expecting, because I think at the end it's as well the beauty is that Daiki Suzuki went to the end to make it is as simple as possible. Clean dial, as less information, just go to what is needed, not much. So titanium, 36, flat sapphire crystal, not even the round one that we normally use on different watches. So it's really, I mean, going to the most puristic approach on a product that would last forever, and that it has been really, really well appreciated by the market. A big blow, and then we were almost regretting to have limited this piece, this reference to this number. But that's also sometimes what creates the emotion for the people.
Many people are expecting regular edition of this kind of field watch. Are you working on it?
Not really, but it's a good learning, because I think that there is it open doors, and every door that is open, we have to look behind the door. What is behind the door, and if there is a way to take, or if it's a dead door with nothing behind. But I think that here with Daiki Suzuki, we open a door that might be interesting, and we are looking. I have nothing to disclose once again for today, but we also have to be careful. We have to. It's not a question of sales; it's a question of brand identity. The khaki field is the khaki field. The khaki field has a military origin. The khaki field, you have normally the 2 scales, 1 to 12, 13 to 24. That's the identity of the khaki field. If you take the engineer garment, it does not have the identity of the khaki field. So that's why it's not. It has in terms of the shape of the case, but in terms of the dial, you are losing a little bit this military heritage, the soul of the khaki field, and we have to be careful with our babies.
Last night I was thinking about how to do this interview, and I came up with a strange idea about a fun exercise.
We love strange ideas. Huh? We work with Daiki Suzuki, with Mr. Kojima.
Yeah. Although in South Korea, Hamilton is famous for its field watches and open heart, I think Hamilton is actually a well-rounded brand. It is good at every different category of watches. So what if someone is building his entire watch collection only with Hamilton watches? What will happen? That was my question. So let's do an exercise.
Yes.
So you build your own 5-watch collection, and I'll do mine, and we have 3 steps here. 2 from Hamilton, 1 from my channel, so you have advantage. They will vote for a better choice.
I have to start. If I had to choose one from the whole field watch, for me it would be the Murph. I mean, it's the Murph is the Murph. The Murph is something that has been created by. We are the watchmaker of the filmmaker, but there is also the filmmaker for the watchmaker, and I think that this watch has been created and is the result of a long relationship. So emotionally speaking, I would take the Murph.
My choice would be the khaki field mechanical. It's classic. And it is appreciated by many enthusiasts because it is kind of faithful to the original MILW 46374. Am I right? They will kill me.
Manage your own audience. Manage your own audience. They are killing me for many other reasons, so you manage your own audience.
But that's a must-have. If you have to have one Hamilton watch, that's a must-have. Yeah.
Okay, so I was hesitating between the two, and if I would have said the khaki field mechanical, then you would have said the Murph. Diver, I would take the Frogman, the old one with the crown protector, with the small second that was launched many years ago.
I think I need to have at least 1 Quartz in the collection, so I would choose 37mm khaki.
Okay, I would go to the Frogman because I think that it's the history, and that was also one of the movies where we were in with the Frogman in 1961.
I respect the story behind the Frogman, but I think mine is better. It is more affordable.
They will choose. Yeah, but anyway, if you have to make first of all, it's going to be difficult to find one of these Frogman on the market. But if you start today a collection, it's much easier to take the current collection than trying to source one of these older pieces.
Then next one would be pilot watch. Easy.
I am flying planes. There is 2 watches that I wear when I fly, but the one I prefer the X-Wind, but the sandblasted one that we did. We call it the Sandstorm that we launched a few years ago. That's the one that I would choose.
I'm stuck because I'm thinking of Air Chermat, the deck of helicopter. They have Hamilton watch, which can be used as pocket watch at the same time.
The takeoff.
The takeoff.
The khaki takeoff.
It looked really great. I fell in love immediately when I saw that watch. But I don't have that watch in my collection, and I need to be honest. So I would choose Hamilton Khaki Aviation Pioneer.
The Pioneer.
Inspired by RAF watch.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, makes sense.
I'm choosing 2 mechanical watch and winding watches.
Right.
Because less inconvenience, but it's like ritual. When you start your morning while winding your watch, it will give you like a fresh start of the day. So you'll like it.
That's a nice one. Into aviation, I'm more into the modern part of the aviation. That's why X-Wing, but takeoff. He could also have chosen the Air Glacier or the. But the next one would be really nice, by the way. The one of aviation. We are working on a project for next year that is interesting.
It was a very good Air Glacier limited edition.
The special edition Air Glacier with the titanium, the blue one. The blue is beautiful. And you have the second hand that is like the propeller of the helicopter that is pretty well appreciated as well.
And I also like the strap, the Velcro.
The Velcro. And you know why we did this Velcro? That was a request for them.
Really?
Because all the employees of Air Glacier, they receive one. I mean, it's partnership, so we gave one to each of the employee. And you have the pilot. It's not only for the pilot, but you have the pilot. He's flying. He's in the cockpit. Fine. But you have all the medical assistant, the flying assistant. And I mean, when it's in the winter, you are outside. There is snow, wind. I mean, they wanted to have the watch above the jacket. So that's why we did it the Velcro, and then it come in the special box where we can change the strap, because then when you want to go home, maybe you want to have something a little bit more sophisticated.
Make it buyable to general public. I will buy 4 or 5 with different colors.
Different color.
Please.
So dress watch, I would take the Intramatic.
Intramatic.
For me, I would take the Intramatic.
Two-hand
chronograph. No, I would take the
chronograph.
The chronograph, either the Panda or the reverse Panda, or even with the green. But I would take definitely the Intramatic chronograph. I think it's,
You regard it as a dress watch.
I take it as a dress watch.
Okay. For me, for a dress watch, it's hard.
You will take the open art, I guess.
I want to do it, but I want to pick something underappreciated. So Ventura, South Korean enthusiasts should try Ventura more. It will look good on your suit.
Yes.
And
Yes.
it's not that crazy when it is on your wrist.
Yeah, the beauty of Ventura is whenever you wear it, you are 100% sure that anyone who's going to be with you is going to ask you, what is your watch? Everyone. And then you have so much storytelling. You can say, that's the Ventura. That was the first electric watch in the world. In 1957, it was the Elvis watch. It is the watch of Men in Black. So the story behind the Ventura is really something amazing, and I really invite the customer to try once. Just put it on your wrist, and then if you don't like it, you can put it back on the display.
There are quartz versions and automatic versions.
Yes.
Which one do you recommend more?
If you want to stay true to the heritage of the brand, you go for the Quartz. We have different sizes, lady and men sizes. If you want to have something a little bit more bold for people who dare, then you go either with the. I would personally go directly with the skeleton one, either with the dragon or the other one. But stay tuned, something is coming out for the end of the year.
For this collection, I have to pick automatic because I don't need 2 quartz watches in my collection.
Oh, yeah.
It's just for reference or
You're a collector, you have collection. I'm never asking me all these kind of questions.
We already picked 4 essential watches.
Yeah.
Then we may want to add 1 more watch, regardless of genre.
I would take, for anything for me, would be a PSR. PSR for me, it represents Hamilton. Hamilton changed the time to tell time in 1970 by offering the world another way of giving and communicating the time, and I think that is a milestone of Hamilton. So I would definitely go with a PSR. If you have the chance to get a pulsar from the past, but a PSR for today, I have the chance to have 1 or 2 of them limited edition that we did, and I think that's something as well that is creating the story whenever you put it on your wrist.
I was thinking of the Intramatic chronograph, but you already picked that one. I would consider it's taken. So let's say Bolton mechanical. So I have 3 mechanical.
You have 3 mechanical.
But I think with dome sapphire crystal, with manual winding movement and the quality of dial, I think it gives good value and it will make a good dress watch. It's slightly bigger than idea, but I can manage to.
But you're good because you took a product from every single collection, and
now it's their chance to vote. Who did a better job?
two of the people, they are indirectly my employees. So they don't have so much choice.
We will turn.
We turn. We don't want to see. We don't want to know. And you tell us who is the winner.
Yeah, let us know.
Good? Good.
So who's winning?
Who is winning?
You're winning.
No!
No, I have to buy coffee for our staff.
But it would be interesting to know what is the difference, because maybe that the Intramatic that made the difference and you gave it to me at the end. So.
Even my wife didn't use me.
It's an interesting game. Not ready, not prepared, so that's really what came out. And
I didn't tell anyone.
I think it's also some of your pick were really quite good, and that was not my first choice, but that makes sense.
Yeah, thank you for saying so. Yeah, you were saying so because you were winning.
No. I would have said if I would have lost, I would say that I fully agree that you won. I would have voted for you.
So how do you like this exercise? Is it?
I think
fun?
it's interesting because, but first of all, you need to really know Hamilton in order to to go through the collection in your head, what you are, especially when it's kind of quickly made with no preparation. So I think it's you need to really know. But at the end of the day, I never thought that what kind of value it could take. I think that a collection for watches has to talk to you. It has to be emotional. So the 5 pick I did was only the emotion behind the product. I'm working for Hamilton since many years, and I think that's what makes the difference is the story behind the product and the emotion of the product. What can we talk about? We have so many things. Stay tuned because we have a new caliber arriving in September.
New caliber.
New caliber arriving in September. That's something that unfortunately
3 hands.
4, 5, 6. We don't know, but it's something that we are working since a couple of years, and it will be released in September. And once again, it's going to be something that no one is doing in this price segment. That is totally outstanding from my point of view. I already mentioned that you have to stay tuned for the end of the year with the new Ventura, and we have a big project, but it's still not finalized as well for the end of the year. But we have a very interesting project that are coming soon. And Murph 42 will be launched in July, so just a few days after the video. Also available in a special packaging with a metal bracelet. We have the Murph on 38, leather and bracelet. The Murph 42 will be available not directly on bracelet, but within a packaging with the bracelet. And of course, for all the people who already purchase a Murph 42, they can just purchase the bracelet in order to change the bracelet, to change the strap if they want.
If you have final message to the Korean people,
it's a pleasure. Continue to send message to the gentleman. I think that he is your spokesperson. You see it today, so he's your spokesperson. And I think that we are really close to the people. We listen to our customers, and every one of you contribute with this kind of discussion as well to challenge the brand, going to the next step. So we really appreciate to have this direct contact, and we look forward, and I'm already looking forward to have your comments on this video, and of course on the novelty that we will put on the market in the coming months. So thank you for loving Hamilton, and a pleasure to be here in Korea.
Yeah, many people tend to think that I say only nice things to CEOs, but I'm trying to be polite. After the interview is done, I ask lots of hard questions to CEOs. So I'm doing my job, representing you to the friends and the leading persons. Then you will get what you want.
He's going to ask me the question, and in the next video, I'm going to tell you if he was nice or not with me.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you for watching us, and thank you for being here. Thank you for taking your precious time to have this conversation. And you are the first CEO who visited this studio.
This studio? Yeah. It's a pleasure. 감사합니다.
감사합니다. 네, 그러면은 여기까지 하겠습니다. 지금까지 저는 김생활,
Vivian Stauffer, the CEO of Hamilton, has been a pleasure to be with you.
감사합니다.